All right, there we go. We're back. We're back again. We're back with another live stream. I really hope my mic works this time, because I've had that issue where it just likes to not work at all. But we are seeing some storms that are coming in within the area for Maine. I'm gonna do I gotta find my phone so I can do a test, because I think my mic is not working again. It's doing that thing where it likes to mute itself. But yeah, no. If you can hear me, we are seeing some storms in Maine at the moment. That never happens. Yo, Storm Chaser Shooter, how are you doing? Oh, I just froze there and I saw it. Great. That's all. We're off to a good start now. They have actually tornado warned the storm near, is it Amity, Maine. You really never see tornado warnings in Maine. It's like a rare thing. You never see it. Yeah, I had to take a break. I was very busy with work. That's why I haven't been streaming that much. And plus, I'm trying to also save up for a new system, so I know it's really, really laggy. And, it's just not really what I want to stream on if I get really, really laggy with a really bad computer. But that hurricane, though, that's a really nasty hurricane. Hurricane Beryl is a category 4. It's a real bad hurricane. Got some storms in my area today, so the plan is to actually, when they come to my area, I'll keep this stream live, and then I'll actually start a secondary stream to stream those outside. They do come around to my area. So we do have the severe thunderstorm warning over here with a tornado possibility, quarter-size hail, and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. We do have a damage threat of considerable for that hail threat and the wind threat. So that looks like the tornado warning has expired for the area of Amity for Maine. Do have another tornado possibility, severe thunderstorm warning up to the north near, Hodgdon, Maine, near Oakfield and Ludlow. We move in within the area. There is a secondary cell moving, but is going down towards like a southeastern track. There was a storm before for Amity is heading towards it. I was really wanting them to tornado warn the storm, but unfortunately they did not. I mean, they did. They threw one down there, but before they could have, tornado warned the storm. It had a really good rotation on velocity. In the state of Maine today, what's really weird is that they only did a 2% chance for the tornado threat for today, which I think they should have upped it. They should have upped it to 5% instead of 2. Just we're not seeing any of those rotations down with those other storms for New Jersey and everything like that. We're just not seeing the rotation within those storms. So we are seeing the rotation within these main storms. That's what's most concerning at the moment. we can take a look at those other storms, but that southern cell is starting to crack up near Patton, Maine. So they shrunk the severe thunderstorm warning because the storm is moving out of the area. The majority is it going to be a wind threat. Yeah, good to see you, Velocity. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a while since my last stream. It's been really busy at work. Majority, we're going to be having this big line of wind. That's really not a good line that I drew. It's a terrible line. We're gonna draw it again. So the storm's gonna be it's gonna be moving. I screwed up the line. This storm is moving this way near Princeton, and then gonna go towards Whiting when it gets there. It's basically gonna be moving into Canada. It gets a free pass today. It doesn't have to go through customs. That's what's nice about these storms. They can just go right into Canada. They don't have to go through customs. It's really nice for the storms to do that. Thing is that storms don't get charged either, so Now when I do these, I gotta throw a little bit of humor in there because I gotta make this an enjoyable stream. Can't be all serious and everything like that. So we're looking at Maine, the state of Maine, right next to New Hampshire for New England. Are seeing a severe thunderstorm warning for Jackson and Bartlett, New Hampshire. It's for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. They'll probably do an extension for Lovell and Bridgeton into Oxford and Poland or Paris, Maine. Yep. And then we do have the dew points are still pretty high. What you start to notice though is that once the dew points and temperature once the temperature starts to climb down, the storm starts to be less severe. So once the temperature starts to come down and meet the dew point, when there's 100% humidity, it really just kills the storm. That's what I've been noticing through these storms here, and down south and in Texas too as well, and all those other U.S. states too as well. I've been noticing that once the main temperature falls so it meets the dew point, then it really just kills the storm. A lot of storm activity up here for northern and southeast Maine. But northwest Maine, that's what I meant to no. Wait, no, northeast, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, northeast Maine. because we're currently having this whole storm right here. We're going to be having that impact up. Is it? Yeah, Princeton, and then we're going to be having it impact Clifton, Maine. Going to be within those areas shortly. Main threat's going to be the wind and hail. Okay, look at the Jackson storm. Jackson, New Hampshire storm. We're starting to see more of an outflow. Yep. So they'll probably tornado warn that storm shortly if it continues on its track. Storms be moving towards, is it, yeah, Lovell, Sweden, and Freiburg. It's currently got it's warned for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Moving, it's going to be coming in the area shortly for these areas. They'll probably extend the severe thunderstorm warning too as well. So this is 2 minutes behind. They should be giving out another scan shortly. This is off the Gray radar tower. The Gray, Maine radar tower. Why do we have so many alerts up here? Yeah, special weather statements, that's why. A lot of storms down here. A lot of them are just going to be hailers, hailstorm hailers. So we do have some hail estimates down here for New Jersey and Pennsylvania. So we got hail estimates at 1.5. A lot of these severe thunderstorm warnings, though, are mainly for wind. Yeah, they're all for wind. Most of them are. Not much of a hail threat down here. There is a 30% chance of damage. There's a big wind threat down for these downer states. Or like, got Pennsylvania, we got New Jersey, we got New York, we have, what is it, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island. Mainly for the wind threat, and the tornado threat is also a feature for these storms. Yeah, so for Rhode Island, though, so that severe thunderstorm warnings actually almost covers the whole entire state of Rhode Island there. And it's, you know, just for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So it's going to be raining there for a pretty long time. Going to be impacting South Kingston. Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. Wow. Wow, that is a massive severe thunderstorm warning that they have just issued. That's yeah, for wind. They've done it for a wind threat. Are you looking for Cherry, New Hampshire? I don't see anything for Cherry something or something cherry. Yeah. Supposed to be something in Maine. Yeah, I mean, we can take a look at that. Storm is starting to die down with the rotation, but it is starting to, that's a little bit too close there. But the National Weather Service has issued this whole severe thunderstorm warning just for the wind, for just a big wind threat. I mean, there's a town called Cherryfield, Maine, and that is all the way near, is it Canada? So the whole severe thunderstorm warning that the National Weather Service has just issued, they decided to take it away. They have issued the severe thunderstorm warning for Lovell. I think that's what they meant to do, but someone made an error. It's going to be yeah, just was it 0.75 inch diameter hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds for that severe thunderstorm warning. At most, it's just a wind threat storm. Warwick, Rhode Island. Yeah. Yeah, so you're currently in that severe thunderstorm warning. For 60-mile-per-hour winds and 0.75 inch diameter hail. So, but the normal severe thunderstorm warning that's still in that area is still warned for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. It's going to expire in 5 minutes. So I'd probably just worry about the 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and 0.75 inch diameter hail. So, I mean, there will be wind within that area, but it's really not going to be that bad. It's still something that you're going to want to look out for. If this continues near Hudson, we might see a tornado warning get issued. Maine. So this is in Hudson, Maine. Really heading towards is it Bangor, Maine. I should have went storm chasing today. I should have went storm chasing. I was just going off prediction. That's why I did not go storm chasing. Yeah. You're welcome, Velocity. So we are seeing a pretty good outflow boundary of that storm. And what I mean by outflow is that on radar, we're having this line that's coming, from the storm. It's coming down from the storm. So that's our outflow boundary. Do have another storm behind it for Lincoln. I wonder if they're going to either special weather statement that storm. It just all depends on what the National Weather Service wants to do. Or if there's any weather spotters out there that spot. Usually what happens is that if there's any wind, I gotta turn on these wind reports. That's what I gotta do. Can't turn on spotter network. Otherwise it shows phone numbers. We're gonna do recorded wind. So this will turn on, and then if there's any wind gusts that pop up for damaging wind, we'll be able to see it. So what typically happens with weather spotters is, let's say if there's a hailstone and it falls, and they make a report to the National Weather Service, they're usually either going to special weather statement the storm, or they're going to severe thunderstorm warning the storm. It just depends on how big the hailstone is, or for the wind threat too. If it's really, really windy, they get a good damaging report, then they'll either severe thunderstorm warn the storm or special weather statement the storm for that wind gust. That the main threat? Which one are you looking at? Because there's a lot of radar garbage for this radar tower. We are getting an outflow for that. I'm going to say there's some really good radar towers in Australia. I was looking at some radar towers in Australia, and they got some really good garbage on that on their radar towers. I mean, it's really, really bad. And if you see all these green points just chilling here near, is it Hebron and Mechanic Falls, it's radar garbage. There's no rain there. There's nothing. There's just a problem with the radar tower for Maine, for the Gray or Parnell radar tower. Right in front of so this thing right here, if you're referring to that's radar garbage. It's always going to be there, and there's just something wrong with there's just something wrong there at that particular spot. The radar tower is reading it as something is a tall object, and that's what they scan. They scan for really tall objects, and if there's something tall there's usually going to be some specks of radar or stuff like that. Yes, clutter. They got some really good examples of that in Australia, and they're really bad too. This storm is really starting to pick up for wind. Or over 72, 77 over 71, 88 or over 67. This temperature doesn't start dropping, you're going to have an issue with this storm coming through. Using a different mouse today because my trackpad decided to go out today. Probably just going to focus on these storms over here. Storm moving pretty fast though. There's also something wrong with the Vermont radar tower. Because let's say I want to press it to see what this stuff is. It's not going to show up. There's just something wrong with it because we are within the range of that radar tower. This radar tower can only see like half a circle of radar. I'm just really concerned about this storm though for Warren. Because if it keeps its act together, we could possibly see some rotation within it. Or a nasty hail core. So they got a really good outflow. Now the clutter is interacting with the storm, but we are still seeing a pretty good outflow. We'll be switching to either velocity or normal radar. We got to keep on doing that in order to see what's going on with these storms here. You can really tell that the wind is starting to pick up within the storm near Denmark and Bridgeton, Maine. I think something got unplugged with my charger. There we go. It's charging now. So we're really starting to see the bottom of the storm really starting to ramp up. That's what I meant to say. Very surprised though for that Hurricane Beryl is, what is it? I don't remember what it's called. Category 4 though, that's pretty insane. Category 4 storm, hurricane. While the storm starts up, what I can do is that we'll take a look at that storm because why not? Hurricane Beryl, that's what it's called. We got to throw it on clean. It's going to be a little laggy for everyone in stream right now. I do apologize. There it is. There's that hurricane. looking at a hurricane up Beryl, and it's a Category 4 storm. Hurricane. That thing is massive. I mean, it's pretty. It looks pretty cool, but it's going to be heading towards Scarborough. Is it Scarborough? That's that. Maybe that's the island name right there, near Bridgetown and Kingstown and St. George's. I'm gonna throw this in 3D mode. That thing looks amazing. I mean, look at that hurricane. I'm using a shout out to Radar Omega. This wouldn't be possible without them. I would consider checking them out. And no, this is not being sponsored by Radar Omega. All you do is you just have to have the Gamma subscription, though. It's a one-time fee of $8.99, and then you'll be all set for using Radar Omega. But you do have to have the Gamma in order to use satellite. You are getting a lot of wind within the storm. You know, it's a pretty nasty looking thing. We'll be doing some more hurricane streams later, maybe when the stream ends, or in the future. You're here, Isaiah? All right, we're going to switch it back to our radar, single site radar. Our outflow for that storm is really starting to yeah. No, it's fine. You don't have to own a PC to use Radar Omega. You can really see that strong outflow. It's a real strong outflow. You don't have, oh, you don't? Oh. That's what I usually just pay for Gamma, because I use it pretty much a lot. Just study the analysis of this weather. I was starting to see a little bit of darker colors within the storm here. I wonder if they'll up it to quarter size hail, or they'll probably just keep it at what they want to keep it at right now. It's a pretty small storm too, so near Bridgeton and Harrison and Otisfield, Maine. Storm is going to be Bulls and Casco. You want to look at the ecotops before the storm actually gets to the, radar tower. Pretty tall clouds, though. We're probably seeing around, 30, 40, I'd say maybe 40,000 feet. That's still pretty tall, though. If you're in Pawnell or New Gloucester, you'll probably see this pretty tall cloud, and it's going to be it's going to be really exploding. Really cool popcorn cloud. You never want to see clouds in the 54 and 1,000 feet. It's just never a good sign. Storm is starting to dissipate a little bit for Woodstock. So Gamma, I can't show it right now. I'm just going to show my name, and I really don't want my real name getting out there right now. There's different tiers, so you have to spend like, I think it's either $7.99 or $8.99 for the base of the Radar Omega. That's just a flat fee. You own Radar Omega forever once you pay that fee. And you have to either decide if you want to buy the subscriptions or not. If you don't, that's fine. You'll just be you're just going to have velocity, just normal radar. But if you do upgrade to Gamma, then you can, if you want to, you can look at all the hurricanes and everything like that. Wrong at all? Oops, wrong channel. All right, Isaiah. Storm is it? Yeah. Harrison or Harrison. That's what I'm. That's a silly name right there. Harrison. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. I don't know. I turned all that stuff off now. I've turned all my cameras off, so I can't use them without permission. And even if I do use the cameras on Radar Omega, my stream will kind of crash a little bit, or it's going to make an unpleasant viewing experience for my viewers. I don't want that. Very windy storm though. They're getting hail within that storm though, so they should at least put a quarter-size hail within the storm. Severe thunderstorm warning has just been expired. They're probably going to either issue another one or they're just going to leave it. Nope, they issued a whole other one. Yep. For $half size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Heading towards Lewiston, Poland, Oxford, Mechanic Falls, Casco, and and Hebron. Still pretty good outflow with the storm we're currently viewing right at the moment. Pin that. Are you able to get the one that I'm currently looking at? The one for Maine. It's in Maine. It's going to be near Bridgeton, Maine, Harrison, Maine, Otisfield, Maine, Oxford, Maine, Mechanic Falls, Maine, Poland, Maine. Yeah, the outflow. Yep, there's that outflow for Brownfield and Denmark. It's a real good outflow. You're going to have some pretty strong wind on this line here, Otisfield and Casco. But it's a really, really tight area between no rain and then just storm. So there's going to be a really cool shelf cloud if there's anyone on the ground for Casco, West Poland, and Otisfield. This storm is really being killed off as it reaches the higher elevations. Yeah, you're in a mountain right here. That's why it's 55 degrees over 54. These usually northern Maine and northern New Hampshire is mountains. It's higher elevation. That's just how it is for Maine and New Hampshire. So you got ocean, and then you just go and you start to just go up in elevation as you get the Lowell and Waterford and is it Bethel. Yeah, we could check out that Brentwood, Tennessee. Check it out here on our radar Omega. You do have some storms within the area. So with that, these storms heading towards your area. So it is under a special weather statement at the moment. It would probably be within your area within a couple of maybe an hour or less, I would say. You're welcome. You still got that strong outflow. Still for a $0.5 size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. You can really see that gust front on our velocity. be heading towards Otisfield and Casco, Poland, and Mechanic Falls. Yep. It's a whole different story on how Canada does their weather. Yep. That stuff turned off for Canada. There's a whole different story on how Canada does their weather, and their radar tower just kind of looks a little bit more, flat than, the U.S. radar tower. It's a little bit more flat than, it's not as staticky. And I don't like that. I like it more staticky. Tornado warning would be for this storm, for when you have that couplet. That's what they're looking at right now for the Canada storm. They're an hour ahead of Eastern. I think that's where we're from New Brunswick. Yeah, they're an hour ahead, so it's a whole different. So it's 3:55 Eastern here, but it's 4:55 East. I don't know what it's called over there. That's this whole thing is New Brunswick. New severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. This whole storm looks to be connected. The whole line is starting to begin. Yeah, you're starting to see this whole line. Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. So you got to also think about the Eastern time zone starts to begin. I think it's on the border between Indiana and Illinois. On that border, that's where the time zone line begins for Eastern. So that's a big line right there, and I believe it on the border between Maine. It's somewhere in there. That's the new line for that other time zone. New severe thunderstorm warning for, you still got that tornado possibility tag on there, quarter size hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts on that storm. I know I got to do that. I got to do it like Ryan Hall y'all does it. And I got to get a better system. and I don't really want to play it. I know there's a system you can do it on Radar Omega. I don't want to play it because then everyone will hear it in the house. So I know how to do it, but I have people home in the house, and because I don't live alone, I don't want to have that time, not the time zone, but the sound on for these storms, for the new warning. I think flashing is okay for now. Want to get more of a configured system, then I'll be happy to put on sound. Yeah, I gotta figure that out, how to make the voice. There's probably a bot that, so I believe Ryan Hall, y'all made that one. I mean, he had to have done that. So I believe he's already hired someone to do it, because you got to code that stuff in. Really got really bad, Daniel. All right, that's too bad. Yeah, when it says a new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. So I believe what happens is that he has it on the feed. So basically, he has it on the Discord bot, and then he has a Autobot turned on. And then whenever a new sound or a new reading comes forward, the Autobot reads it. And that's how that happens. There's your win line. Should be heading towards is it Minot and Mechanic Falls and Lewiston. So for $half size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. All right, so this storm is doing all sorts of stuff. We're under confirmed tornado warning. Oh no, that's not good. Sorry to hear that. I thought the storm was going to cycle and maybe tornado out for maybe a rotation for Oxford Mechanic Falls, but this storm actually just seems to be tilting. But it has a limited time to do so before it hits the ocean. But let's say it's still got about an hour left in its lifetime before it hits the ocean. An hour or sooner, so maybe an hour or 30 minutes. Depends on how fast the storm's moving. We are starting to see a cell that is starting to form for Richton. I'm saying cell because it can be enhanced a little bit once the storm moves out of the way. I'm just kind of afraid of for this storm here is that we could see a little bit of hooking. It's trying to form, like cycle through. You can kind of see it on radar. I know I can, but the reason why I'm kind of concerned is that you got this little arc. Then usually what's going to happen is that you're just going to spark up and then cycle to make it look like a hook. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Velocity, for tuning in for today's stream. Usually what will happen for the National Weather Service or anyone in these areas, so let's say there's a severe thunderstorm up here, everyone's going to be warned within these areas that you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. Would check your Yapor Discord if I were you. Okay. I will. I'll do that. There we go. Starting to ramp up a little bit. This is also starting to get close to the radar tower. Yeah, I see it. Looking from sunny Wisconsin, yeah. We're looking at storms in Maine at the moment. Could be impacting severe thunderstorm warned storm is going to be heading towards Poland, Minot, Lewiston, and maybe Durham or New Gloucester. There we go. Storm is going to do exactly what I said it's going to do. It's already, you're starting to already get that hook in that storm. Yeah, so it's going to do exactly what I said it's going to do. Wow. So if there's anyone in these towns watching from Durham or Lisbon or New Gloucester, I just probably pay attention to the storm because anything could happen. Since it's just so warm, a little warm outside, 84 over 72. So it should feel like a sauna outside. Still got a pretty good outflow with this storm. Starting to see a little bit of a hail core near Mechanic Falls in Poland. Your hail core would be right up in here, near in Poland and Mechanic Falls. I don't know what that is. Come on, man. Stuff like this. I'm doing a weather stream right now. You can't post stuff like that in chat. The chances are that when viewers hit that video link, they're not going to come back to my stream. Or they will, or they won't. So I can't. Please don't post stuff like that. Otherwise, if you keep on doing it, I will have to take your moderation away. Yeah, I mean, because anyone can hit those links, and chances are is that, you know, they might not come back to the stream. Okay. Trying to see a little bit of. Be really interesting to see what the storm wants to do. You could probably see storm if the storm keeps its act together. It's like a snake or something that just pulled away from the storm. Yep. Need something to drink. Yeah. I'm drinking what is it? Brisk iced tea right now. It's pretty good. Yeah, the storm is rotating. Kind of hard to see on reflectivity. Look at that. Look at that outflow line. There's the outflow line. Let me draw a better outflow line because this had obstruction in the way. There's our outflow line. That is a pretty long outflow line for our storm here. That means there's a lot of energy with the storm that is moving across Maine. We do have the storm near Albany and Madison and Tamsworth that is starting to pop up. The National Weather Service is either going to special weather statement the storm if it keeps on going, on the way that it wants to go. That Bridgeton storm that I thought was going to supercell up has disappeared. No, they're either going to tornado warn the storm pretty soon. But on my part, what I see is that there's a little bit of rotation through East Pond and is it Minot, Maine. You can kind of within our little supercell there. Actually, looks like it just fizzled out a little bit. Stream lag is always the worst. Dollar size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I'll be right back. I gotta go do something. I say the storm is really starting to explode. That temperature is starting to go down for that station there that last taken was. It should be a little bit more down because that was taken about over an hour ago, that temperature ID. Now is that we have this. Could be clutter, but it seems to be something that our storm is trying to cycle. It's trying to produce. Sorry, there's something in my eye. Yeah, I mean, this thing is the storm is really starting to explode for Lewiston. That Lewiston storm is really, it's still $0.5 size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. They're going to extend that severe thunderstorm warning, but they'll make it a larger box. There it is. Quarter size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It's going to be heading towards Freeport and Brunswick and Bowdoin, Lisbon, Durham, is it Bowdenham, New Gloucester, New Gloucester, Maine. Surprised they don't have that tornado tag on the storm too as well. A little bit surprising.